After watching this video, you're gonna nail true, false, not given questions in IELTS reading section. So let's get started. I'm Nurbakht. Welcome back to my channel. And as always, we break down IELTS reading section. So far, we've done like test 1, test 2, and this is test 3. Can you imagine it? So the test 3, Cambridge IELTS 20. Let's get going. And here we go. The questions go like this. As you can see, here we have true, false, not given questions, and that's Cambridge IELTS 20. The passage is called frozen food. Yay, frozen food. And if you're new here, you can look at the playlist, which is called IELTS Breakdown. I've got a bunch of the videos, and of course, I have the beginning of this test, like or the questions from starting from the number 1 to 7. So this is test 1 still and passage 1, and we are good to go to the questions number 8, which is true, false, not given. So as always, we're going to start with a strategy. The strategy here is please read the instructions. By the word instructions, I mean these parts. So these parts are your favorite parts. Please read the instructions. This question is also grade 1 because when you're taking your IELTS exam, like people tend to get nervous, so you might forget everything. So please remind yourself that you just need to read the instructions. It doesn't matter how many IELTS tests you've taken earlier. So please read the instructions, and after reading the instructions, you're going to jump into the questions, okay? I'm not saying you have to start with the passage. No, please don't do that because it takes a lot of time reading the whole thing. And in the beginning of these kind of questions, in this kind of question types, you don't have to read the whole thing. You're going to just locate the possible section and you're gonna find the answers, believe me. So please start with the questions first. And after reading the question, you're going to highlight the keywords, okay? So please try to highlighting keywords because keywords are our friends, okay? Because the keywords, like, they help you to identify the possible location of the answer. So please read the question first, and after that you highlight the keywords, and after understanding the question, you're going to find those keywords in the passage. They are usually paraphrased, or you will be given the same numbers, the years, the people's names. So please try to work with the keywords always. And after locating the possible section of the possible answer, you're going to scan. After scanning, you're going to skimming when I like try to get the big picture. So now you know everything, almost everything, because I forgot to tell you that these answers, they come in order, which means if you have stopped in this first paragraph, you don't have to read it over and over again because the answer goes after this first paragraph. So if your answer was found in the first paragraph, let's say the eighth answer was found in the first paragraph, you're going to jump into the second paragraph. So the ninth question's answer might be in the second paragraph, in the third paragraph. So, which means you don't have to read one paragraph over and over again to find answers, okay? So now we're good to go. We're going to work with the keywords. As always, we read the question number 8 first. Let's read it. The ice transportation business made the ice transportation business made some Boston ship owners very wealthy in the early 1800s. Okay, so again, the ice transportation business made some Boston ship owners. I'm sorry for my intonation. Yeah, I should have stopped after business. I should have taken pause. Okay, so here, so the ice transportation business, which is our next keyword, and some Boston ship owners, very wealthy. Remember to highlight specific adjectives, okay? Adjectives, actions, people's names, and here we have a place. the city's name, Boston. So Boston ship owners and 1800s, which are also very, very important. So now you've got all the keywords. Now you see this one, 1800s, which is here, and you see a word Boston here, 1800s, 1851, and now it's time to find Boston ship owners and very wealthy. Is it true that they got super wealthy? If it's true, you're going to mark the sentence true, like T, letter T, or you can write the whole word like as true, True, you can spell it. And then if it's opposite, if the information given in the sentence opposite to the information in the paragraph, you're going to mark it as false. Okay, you're gonna mark it as false. And if the information is not given, you're going to mark it as not given. So that's it. And now we are going to begin. The ice transportation business made some Boston ship owners very wealthy. So as I earlier mentioned, the answer is in the second paragraph. So the second paragraph, we're going to read it. So please pause the video if you want to read the whole thing all by your own first. But if you don't want, that's totally fine, because I'm going to read it and we're going to read it along together. So natural ice remained the main form of refrigeration until late in the 19th century. In the early 1800s, the ship owners, yes, we have people, ship owners from Boston, USA, had enormous blocks of Arctic ice towed all over the Atlantic for the purpose of food preservation. In 1851, railroads first began putting blocks of ice in insulated rail cars to send butter from Ogdensburg, New York to Boston. Okay. So our keywords are this business, this ice transportation business made a lot of people very wealthy. Do we have it? I see ship owners. I do see them. I see Boston. I see 1800s. But do we have anything about money here? I don't think so. So we don't have it, so which means the answer is going to be not given, because we can't find the word very wealthy. Here we have nothing here. But you might also say why. Maybe the answer is hidden in the third paragraph or in the fourth paragraph. Of course, we can read all of them. We can try to find it, but the keywords are 1800s. Do we have 1800s? Yes, we do. But do we have other keywords? Boston ship owners here. Do we have them? No, we don't. So do we have them in the fourth paragraph? No, we don't. Of course, we do have 1800s, but you're not going to see the words like Boston ship owners, and they probably don't mention about transportation business. So this is how you don't jump into the other paragraphs, because the answer is in one specific paragraph. Okay, sometimes they might be in two paragraphs, but don't worry about that. They are just very rare. Commonly, they are in one paragraph. So you don't have to read other paragraphs, because you rely on these keywords, which are highlighted. So these keywords are in the second paragraph. So the answer's location is in the second paragraph. So the second paragraph doesn't have anything to do with being very wealthy, and we don't have even a word money here. So so the answer here is not given. So why we're marking it as not given? Because the information is not given. So the instructions say not given, mark not given if there is no information on this. It's true that there is no information on this, so that's why we're highlighting as not given. So next one, number 9. A disadvantage of the freezing process invented in Australia was that it affected the taste of food. So the next keyword, disadvantage of the freezing process invented in Australia was that it affected the taste of food. Okay, let's find the keyword, the next one, which is Australia. Let me erase the unnecessary things. Now Australia goes in the third, yes, in the third paragraph. I see it. And we also see Australia initially in this paragraph, in the fourth paragraph. And now we have to find the word disadvantage or freezing process. Do we have anything about freezing process in the paragraph 3? Let's read it. Finally, in 70, Australian inventors found a way to make mechanical ice. Okay, found a way. We have to find the word invented. Do we have anything invented here? No, we don't have it because I've noticed the word invented here. This process, by the word this process, they mean freezing point, I guess, right? To freezing process was mentioned in the third paragraph. So to make mechanical ice, it's a freezing process, I guess. So that's what I was mentioning about. Sometimes the answer might be into paragraphs. So this is it. This is the case when we have the word freezing process in the third paragraph. The freezing process here, that's a freezing process. Let me write it down like this. FR process. So mechanical to make mechanical ice, but the other ones invented is in the fourth paragraph. So something was invented, or this something is mechanical ice making. This process was invented. So we're going to look at the paragraph 4 because this paragraph has everything to do with invention. Okay. So now it's time to find out, do we have anything about disadvantage and affecting the taste of food? So let's read it. Pause the video if you want to read it all by your own. So I go like this. Initially, this process was invented to keep Australian beer cool, even in hot water, but Australian cattlemen were quick to realize that if they could put this new invention on a ship, they could export meat across the oceans. In 1880, a shipment of Australian beef and mutton was sent frozen to England. While the food frozen this way was still palatable, there was some deterioration. During the freezing process, crystals formed within the cells of the food, and when the ice expanded and the cells burst, this spoiled the flavor and texture of the food. Okay. So we have it, deterioration. There was some deterioration, it's a disadvantage. When something is when something has a deterioration, that means something is getting worse. So this one is a disadvantage. The other way to say disadvantage is deterioration, and it affected the taste of food, which is here, it's spoiled. Okay, this spoiled. This freezing process was mentioned over here as well. So yes, the answer is in the fourth paragraph, and this disadvantage, yes, that is it affected the taste of food. And as you can see, everything matches. So we mark this statement true because information in the statement 9 matches with the information in the paragraph 4. So that's why it's true. So this is how you use your time wisely. You are not reading the whole thing. You just try to locate the possible answers paragraph. So this is it. Because we have only 40, like in this one 20 minutes and 20 minutes for other paragraph, and this 20 minutes for the third paragraph. So you remember that we have only 60 minutes overall. So you just want to use your time wisely. Okay, now next one, number 10. Clarence Birdsie traveled to Labrador in order to learn how the Inuit people froze fish. Okay, this person is our keyword, this place, and in order to learn how the Inuit people froze fish. Okay, so now it's time to look for this person. I see this person in this one, in this paragraph number 5. As you can see, we're not going above. We're not going to look for the Clarence Birdsie, this name, the Labrador, this place's name, or like above. We're going down because we're moving on, because the answers go in order. They come in order. So now we are going to look for the answer in this paragraph. So let's try. Let's try. And we also have the word Inuit people. Okay, so let's read this paragraph. The modern frozen food industry began with the indigenous Inuit people of Canada. In 1912, a biology student in Massachusetts, USA, named Clarence Birdsey ran out of money and went to Labrador. Yes, we have this place's name, Labrador, in Canada to trap and trade furs. While he was there, he became fascinated with how the Inuit would quickly freeze fish in the Arctic air. The fish looked and tasted fresh even months later. So, yes, our focus here is he went to Labrador in order to learn. Is it true or false? So we have this place. He ran out of money and went to Labrador in Canada to trap and trade furs. So, to learn? You think it's to learn? So we are going to mark it false. Why? Because the information is different. It's opposite. Nobody went to Labrador to learn. He went there to get furs and to sell them. Okay? So this is how you mark it false. Okay? So we're not marking it not given because the information is given, but the information is opposite to the statement. Okay, the information in the paragraph 5 is opposite, not the same thing. Here, that's why it's false. We can't mark it not given. Of course, we don't see the word to learn, but we see the word like he went there because he ran out of money and he didn't have anything. He wanted to catch first and sell them. So this is how you mark it false. This is a little or like there is no huge difference with not given and false, but you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel the difference. As you can see, the difference between not given and false is that the information of the false statement is going to be different. It will have very different thing, and it has, in this case also, it has different thing, it has different words. He didn't go there to learn, he went there to trade first, to sell them. So it's not, we can't mark it as not given. Not given when you completely don't see anything. Okay, we got it. Next one, 11. Swanson Foods invested a great deal of money in the promotion of the TV dinner. Okay, a great deal of money invested. Also, the actions are also the keywords in the promotion of the TV dinner. So let's find this person's name. Do we have it? Let's find, I see Birdsey. Swanson. Swanson Foods. We see this one. Swanson's Foods. Yes, 11 will be highlighted in this new screenshot of the questions, okay? So we have TV dinner, we have Swanson's Food. Okay, and let's move on. We have Swanson's here, TV dinner here. So it's time to read this paragraph. As you can see, we're not reading unnecessary. Right now, they are unnecessary for us because we're concentrated on looking for the answers to the true, false, not given. But after true, false, not given, don't worry, you're going to read the other sections, other paragraphs, because the answers might be in these other like paragraphs that we've left, okay? But now, right now, we're concentrated on looking for the answer to the question 11. That's why we're going to start reading from this one. Okay, so let's read it. 1950s families were also looking for convenience at mealtimes, so the moment was right for the arrival of the TV dinner. Swanson Foods was a large, nationally recognized producer of canned and frozen poultry. In 1954, the company adapted some of Birdsey's freezing techniques, and with the help of a clever name and a huge advertising budget, yes, we have a huge advertising budget, which is close to the great deal of money, and promotion. Promotion is advertising. So it launched the first TV dinner. This consisted of frozen turkey, potatoes, and vegetables served in the same segmented aluminum tray that was used by airlines. The product was an instant success. Within a year, Swenson had sold 13 million TV dinners. American consumers couldn't resist the combination of a trusted brand name, a single serving package, and the convenience of a meal that could be ready after only 20 minutes in a hot oven. By 1959, Americans were spending 2.7 billion annually on frozen foods. Excuse me, I gotta go and open the door. One moment, please. I'm gonna pause the video. I'm back. I'm sorry again. So yes, we were reading this point. Americans were spending 2.7 billion annually on frozen foods, and half a billion of that was spent on ready prepared meals such as the TV dinner. Okay, so as we can see, the part of the passage about promotion is in the beginning of this paragraph, only here, because this ones they don't have anything related to the promotion. So advertising, a huge advertising budget. So let's find out. Swenson Foods invented. Swenson Foods invested a great deal of money. Yes, yes, because a great deal of money is the other way to say a huge budget. So a huge budget, and here we have a great deal of money and invested, which is they had, yes, they had it launched. So a huge budget adapted freezing, and with the help, yes, with the help of it's invested with the help of money, a huge budget. It's invested a great deal of money. Promotion is advertising, as I already said. So 11 is true. This is how you market true, because everything matches. Next, 12. Swenson Foods developed a new style of container for the launch of the TV dinner. Okay, we've got that earlier. If you remember, we have already read this part in the same paragraph. It was here in this part, the same paragraph. So Swenson's Food developed a new style of container for the launch of the TV dinner. So here we've got this part, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, here. This consisted of frozen food, potatoes, and vegetables served in the same segmented aluminum tray that was used by airlines. So let me just erase this unnecessary part. Yes, unnecessary part. Yep. So here we have this sentence. So, and so they use the same adapted birdsease freezing technique. So this technique consisted of frozen turkey, potatoes, and vegetables served in the same segmented aluminum tray. So a new style? Was it a new style? I don't think so. So it wasn't new. It's completely different information, completely opposite. So it was the same aluminum tray. So it's not new, so the answer is false. You mark it false because the information is opposite. So far we've got to the 13th question, the last one. Let's read it. The US frozen food industry is currently the largest in the world. So frozen food industry currently and the largest. Okay, so we're going to read other sections. This section, they say here today, it's possible that because we have a word currently it's today. Today, the US frozen food industry, yes, the answer is definitely here in this paragraph because we have US frozen food industry. Has a turnover of over 67 billion annually, with 26.6 billion of that sold to consumers for home consumption. The remaining 40 billion in frozen food sales come through restaurants, cafeterias, hospitals, and schools, and that represents a third of the total food service sales. So I guess that was I guess that was the last paragraph. So yeah, I don't need this one. Yeah, I'm going to cover it. So this one is the last paragraph of this passage. So the answer is in this paragraph because we have currently is the other way to say today. We have US frozen food industry and largest. Largest in the world? No, we don't have this information. Because as you can see, we have about information about turnover, we have about cafeterias, hospitals, and schools. They take up $40 billion. We don't have anything about largest. Was it largest or not? No, so it's not given. Okay. So this is the difference between not given and false. I hope it was clear for you because as you can see, not given, you mark it not given when there is no information on this, as you can see. But false is when you just try to find this information. The information will be given, but it will have different aspects. So different opposite meanings. So yeah, we've got it. Thank you very much. That was it. Thank you for watching this video. And we're going to meet next week because every week I make YouTube videos. I film it, as you can see, every Friday. So yeah, so far we've done a lot of videos together. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe to my channel because I'm gonna be filming other sections as well, listening coming up. Okay, so thank you for watching, and this is my Instagram. You can see my cases. My students got 7, 7.5, 6, 6.5 band scores, and my own band score is 7.5. So here in this highlights you can see my students bands. Okay, thank you very much for watching and hope you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel and hit the like button if you do like this video. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye.